If you are wanting to get organized and take control of your finances, there are a lot of great tools out there to help you. Best of all, majority of them are free, and I'm gonna share them with you today. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, a certified financial coach and the creator of Financial Fitness. For keeping track of all of your finances in one spot, Empower is a great tool and it's completely free. It is especially good for tracking your investments and your wealth all in one spot. You can link to a lot of different financial institutions, investments. You can even add your property and it will automatically track the value based on Zillow. You can also link to checking and savings accounts. It will automatically import your transactions and categorize them for you. That being said, it's not really a good app for actually budgeting. It's better for seeing where your money went, how your spending was this month compared to a previous month. There are several different Empower budgeting apps, so I'll include a link in the comments and the description box below so that you make sure you go to the right one. A lot of people have questions about security, typing in their information to third-party apps like Empower. My answer for that is it's the same security that your bank uses. It's encrypted, it's as secure as it can be, but anytime you enter in information online, there is a risk. Understandably, a lot of people don't want to take the risk and don't like to link their accounts. If that's the case with you, just make sure that you have a list of all of your accounts somewhere. I like to have a list of every single account, what bank it's at, so that if something happens to me, my husband knows how much money we have and where it is, so nothing gets missed. I like to use this fillable PDF. It's got all of the information you could need in one spot. You can grab mine for a few dollars. If you don't want to spend the money, you can just type up a list on your own. Just make sure you keep it somewhere safe. Budgeting is also extremely important when you're trying to organize and take control of your finances. So important that 94% of millionaires budget. A lot of the clients I work with, they come to me and they don't like budgeting. They think it's boring or restrictive, or they just don't like dealing with the numbers. For people like this, I recommend a budgeting app. There are a lot of budgeting apps out there that do a lot of the heavy lifting. They'll import and categorize your transactions for you, so you don't have to do all the tedious work every month of tracking every single thing, but you can open up the app on your phone or log in on the computer and know how much you have to spend in a category. There are not a lot of free budgeting apps anymore. There are a few, but not a lot. Every single year I do a video of the best budgeting apps and show them to you so you can compare and see what's best for you. I also have a cheat sheet comparing all of the apps, all of the different features and costs. You can watch my video, I'll have it playing up here somewhere, and you can grab the cheat sheet. Every year in January I come out with a new one, so there will be a new one coming out soon. If you do like spreadsheets or numbers and you're not afraid to do the manual tracking, then spreadsheets are a great way to go. They're completely free, whether you use Excel, numbers, Google Sheets. There's so much that you can do. This is personally what I use because I like spreadsheets. I have created my own budget template. I've been doing it for years and years, so I finally created a template to share with people. You can grab it. It is a few dollars, but you can create your own. You can use pen and paper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I've had several people reach out to me and let me know that after watching my monthly budgeting videos, they've created their own spreadsheet. More power to you. Use whatever works for you. If you want one that's already created, you can grab mine, but if you don't want to spend money, you can create your own. The one thing about purchasing a budgeting template, if you do decide to purchase one, it's a one-time purchase, it's one and done, and then you can use it for the rest of your life, as opposed to a budgeting app which you're paying for every month or every year. Now let's talk about email. I bet you did not think your email or inbox could be a tool for budgeting, but it is, and it's completely free. I love using my email to organize receipts. Majority of my receipts get emailed to me, so they're already there. But even if they don't, I can snap a photo and send it to myself. I like having a medical category because for us personally, a lot of our medical receipts we have to submit to get them approved. So I just have a folder labeled medical and then a subfolder for each year. So whenever I get a receipt, I slide it into that folder so I have it when I need it. This also works great if you're self-employed or have a small business. I like to keep my receipts organized for that. Or even when we're doing house projects, so I know where to find them without having to search, and it's easier to track how much we're spending on house projects. Google Drive is another resource. Some people prefer to use Google Drive as opposed to their email. It doesn't really matter. It works the same way. You can create a folder or subfolders and organize them that way. You can have it on your computer or the app on your phone. Now let's talk about where to keep your money. If you've got any cash, a high yield savings account is a great way to go. This is great for your emergency fund or any shorter term savings goals that you're gonna use in the next year or two. They're awesome because they're generally free. They usually have no fees. They have no minimum balance, and they are earning a great interest rate. On average, it's like 10%, the national average of like what you'll get at a local bank. There are so many options for online savings or high yield savings accounts. Wherever you're doing your banking, look there to see if they have one. I have a video with my favorites, the ones that I like to use. You can check that one out, but there are so many options. I haven't tried every single one because there are so many. Just make sure it's FDIC insured. Make sure you're not paying any fees. You shouldn't have to pay money for an account, and make sure it has the features that are important to you. Now let's talk about cash, like the actual bills, where you should store physical bills of cash. Don't keep it under your mattress. You do want to keep some cash on hand. We actually have our financial planner recommended having some of our emergency fund in cash at home. We keep this in a safe, a big fireproof safe, those big, huge, honkin' heavy ones, the same safe that you would keep valuables or your important documents like certificates or passports, things like that. Keep some cash in there, because if something happened and you needed to access your emergency fund, what if the internet's down or you can't get to it for a few days? Having some cash on hand is smart. So keep it in a safe. Don't let your kids know the combination. We have one main safe that we put all of the original files, everything in. But then we also have a second, more portable, fireproof safe that we could carry. We keep that with like our 72-hour kit. So if we were in an emergency, we could just grab that. And it doesn't have the originals, but it does have copies of everything that's in the actual fireproof safe. To go along with that safe and the cash that we keep in our safe, I like to have all of our emergency information in one spot inside the safe. I use an emergency binder, or an in case of emergency binder. It has like anything and everything that you would need. Personal information, contact information for friends, professional, doctors, all of that stuff, along with medical information. It's also got all of the financial information that I mentioned in like one of the first tips. All the financial information, household, like utility accounts, all of that, funeral information, everything you could ever need for an emergency. It's like I created one. It's like 126 pages long. It's a fillable PDF. That's what I use to keep all of our important information. Type it up, print it out, stick it in the safe so we have it. Every year I update it to make sure it's accurate. Once again, you can grab mine, but you can also compile it for free on your own. Now let's talk about actual banking. We do have a physical local branch. We like that. We only have it because when we got married, my husband had had the account for a long time, so we've had it forever. So we just keep it. We hardly ever go into the physical branch. You don't have to have a physical bank or credit union, but it is nice. Occasionally it's easier to speak to a human, and ours offers free notarization for our account. So whenever we need something notarized, we go there. So we like it for that, but don't put money in savings there. At least don't keep a lot of cash there, because they have the highest fees and the lowest interest rates for savings. So I recommend online banks. We also use online banks. Once again, there are no fees. They have much lower costs and higher interest rates for savings because they don't have to pay all the overhead of the physical locations. There are a lot of great ones out there. Feel free to comment with what you use, what you like. I have a video comparing some of the most popular ones. Just make sure it's FDIC insured and it meets your requirements. Also, talking about money, investing is huge. It's very important, and it's very overwhelming because there are so many places that you can invest. It's information overload when you go searching. The first and easiest and freest place to invest is inside of your 401k, or any sort of employer-sponsored retirement plan. If you have one, if you have a job that has one of these, that's the easiest because it's already set up. You don't have to do anything other than choose how much you want out of your paycheck to go into it. So this is a great place to start. Also, it has a lot of employers offer a match, which is free money. So I recommend investing at least up until the match into your employer-sponsored retirement plan if you have one. A lot of issues with employer-sponsored plans is they don't have a lot of options. Some do, but majority don't. And so it's not as good of an option as other places, but invest there up until your match. And then if you have more to invest, or if you don't have an employer-sponsored, there are a lot of online brokers that you can use. Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, those are some of the biggest, most popular ones. There are more out there, but those are probably the most popular. They charge, you don't have to pay money to invest in these accounts, but they charge you usually a percentage of your investment. There is a fee to do it. But if you go to a financial planner, they generally charge between 1 and 1.5%. If you go to these online brokers, we have some of our investments have a fee of like 0.08% at Vanguard, I want to say. So they're a lot lower than investing elsewhere, and you can invest in anything and everything. If you're overwhelmed and don't know what to invest in, if you go to one of these online brokers, majority of them offer financial planners at no cost if you're investing with them. So you can call them, and they are certified financial planners, and they can help you. Like if you don't know where to invest, or you don't know how much you should put into this or into that, they can help you answer those questions. Also, if you want even easier than that, there are a lot of robo investing apps, or even some of the online brokers have robo investing apps. What that means is they will ask you a few questions like how much money you want to invest, what it's for, is it for retirement, or is it for a house down payment? When are you going to want access to the money? You answer some basic questions, and then they are going to recommend a portfolio, and you can choose that portfolio, you can set it up. All of these options have like automated investing, so you can do every paycheck, every month, or you can manually go in and transfer however much you want to invest. That's the easiest. If you're looking for robo investing apps, you might have access to one at an online broker where you already have an account. If not, Wealthfront, Fidelity Go, SoFi, all of those are very easy to get started. You don't need to know anything about investing, but you can get started right away. Let me know what tools I have missed that you like to use. Type it in the comments down below. There are a lot of links I mentioned to products, videos, apps. Check that out in the description box. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I will do my best to answer as soon as possible. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.